Hello, and a huge, warm welcome back to English Made Easy. I'm Eleanor.
And I'm David. It's so good to have you with us today. Seriously, we're glad you're here, tuning in, ready to put in the work.
We are, because here at English Made Easy, our entire mission, the whole reason we turn on these microphones, is to help you learn English in the simplest way possible. We want to cut through the confusing textbook rules and just talk. We want to connect with you and make this journey feel less like a chore and more like an adventure.
Exactly, an adventure. And today's adventure is a big one. It's a marathon. Think about it. Learning a language, especially the deep, complicated, ever-changing parts of it, isn't a short sprint. You can't just memorize a list of words and be done. It's a long run. There are moments where you feel like you're flying and moments where every single step feels heavy.
That is so true. Some days you learn a new phrase and you use it perfectly, and you feel this incredible rush, like you've just hit a new personal best. Other days, you can't remember a word you learned yesterday, and you feel tired, frustrated. You might even ask yourself, why am I even doing this? We get it. We've been there.
That's why we're framing today's episode as the ultimate vocabulary marathon. We're going to be your coaches, your running buddies, right here with you, handing you a water bottle and cheering you on. We're going to explore the world of English slang and street talk, a part of the language that is so alive, so creative, and so intimidating for learners. It's the language of the internet, of music, of friends talking in a cafe. It's the English that often doesn't make it into your grammar books.
And we've structured this marathon in stages, just like a real race. We'll start with some common everyday slang that you'll hear all the time. Then we'll pick up the pace and move into the fascinating world of internet culture vocabulary. After that, we'll tackle some powerful idioms and figurative language that will make your English sound incredibly natural. We'll even dive deep into the grammar and pronunciation that makes this kind of English so unique and sometimes tricky to understand.
And for the final stretch of our marathon, we'll do something incredibly practical. We'll show you how to swap out these slang terms for their more academic or professional equivalents. This is so important. It's about knowing when to use certain words and when to choose a different one. It's about being a chameleon, someone who can adapt their language to any situation, whether you're texting a friend or writing a university essay.
Here's our promise to you. By the end of this episode, you will not only understand what these words and phrases mean, but you'll feel the rhythm behind them. You'll know how to use them, when to use them, and why they matter. You'll have a new set of tools to make your English more expressive, more authentic, and more you.
And one last thing before we start our warm-up. Practice with us. When we say a word, you say it too. Even if you're on a bus or in a library or walking down the street, just whisper it to yourself. Feel how the word sits in your mouth. I'll be speaking with the natural rhythm of a native speaker, and Eleanor will too. Your job is to listen and then to echo it. Every time you say a word out loud, you're building muscle memory. You're taking one more step in your marathon. Ready to start?
Let's get to the starting line. All right, we're off. The first few kilometers of a marathon are all about finding your rhythm. You don't want to sprint right out of the gate. You want to settle in, get your body used to the movement, and feel the ground beneath your feet. The words in this first level are just like that. They are everywhere in modern, casual English. You'll hear them in YouTube comments, in movies, and in conversations between young people. They're your foundation.
The first one we're going to look at is a tiny little word that carries a lot of weight. You've probably seen it. It's sus.
So what does sus mean? It's simply a shortened form of the word suspicious. If something or someone is sus, it means they are shady, questionable, or not quite right. You have a feeling that something is off, but you might not know exactly what. It's that gut feeling, that little alarm bell in your head.
Imagine this. You and your friends order a pizza. It arrives, you open the box, and one slice is already gone. Everyone looks at each other. Your friend, Mike, has a little bit of tomato sauce on the corner of his mouth. In that moment, you'd look at him and say, Mike, you're acting a little sus right now.
Exactly. He's the prime suspect in the case of the missing pizza slice. The situation is suspicious, so Mike is sus. It's used to describe a person, a behavior, or a situation that makes you feel doubtful.
Let's get the pronunciation right because it's super simple. It's just one syllable. Sus.
Sus. S-U-S. It rhymes with bus or plus. Let's say it together. Nice and clear. Ready? Sus. One more time. Sus. Perfect.
The word became incredibly popular because of the online game Among Us, where players have to figure out who the imposter or suspicious player is. So the word sus was used constantly. But now it has moved far beyond the game and is used in all sorts of everyday situations.
Let's think about synonyms, words that mean something similar. You could say shady, sketchy, or questionable. But sus is quicker, more playful, and much more common in casual digital communication. Saying, that email you received looks questionable, sounds quite formal.
Right. A friend would just say, that email looks sus. It communicates the same idea, but in a much more relaxed way. Here's another example. Your friend tells you they finished a 10-page essay in 20 minutes. You might reply, that sounds a little sus. Are you sure you didn't copy it? You're playfully expressing your doubt.
Now, a very important point. Context is everything. You would not use sus in a formal or professional setting. You wouldn't tell your boss, your plan to increase quarterly profits seems a bit sus. That would probably not go over well. This is a word for friends, for relaxed environments, for texting and social media.
Let's try a mini challenge. I'll give you a situation and you decide if you could use the word sus. Situation 1. A website is offering a brand new iPhone for only $50. Is that sus?
Yes, absolutely. That's very sus. It sounds like a scam.
Okay, situation 2. Your teacher gives you a compliment on your homework. Is that sus?
Probably not. That's just a nice thing. Unless, of course, your teacher has never given a compliment in their life and they're smiling in a strange way. Then maybe it's a little sus. See, it's all about that feeling of things not being quite right.
Great. You've got sus down. That's your first checkpoint in the marathon. How are you feeling? Warmed up? Let's move to our next word, which is also about judgment, but in a different way. The word is mid.
Mid. If sus is about suspicion, mid is about disappointment. It means mediocre, average, or just okay. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not great. It's unremarkable. It's in the middle, which is where the word comes from.
You go to a new restaurant that everyone has been talking about. You're so excited, you order their most famous dish. You take a bite, and it's fine. It's not bad. You'd eat it again if you had to, but it doesn't blow you away. Someone asks you, how's the food? You could just shrug and say, it's mid.
That one little word says everything. It communicates a sense of letdown without being overly harsh. You're not saying it's disgusting. You're saying it failed to meet the hype. It's just mid.
The pronunciation is again very simple, just like it looks, mid. M-I-D. It rhymes with kid or did. Say it with us, mid.
Again, mid. You'll often hear it used to describe movies, music, food, or really any kind of experience. What did you think of the new superhero movie? Honestly, it was kind of mid. This means the plot was predictable, the special effects were just okay, and it didn't leave a lasting impression.
Some easy synonyms would be average, mediocre, or so-so. But again, mid has a specific modern flavor to it. It's a quick, sharp judgment that's very common online, especially in reviews or comments. It can sometimes be seen as a bit harsh because it's so dismissive. Calling someone's favorite album mid is a sure way to start an argument online.
It's true. It has a slightly negative connotation. A connotation is the idea or feeling that a word invokes, beyond its literal dictionary definition. While mid literally means middle or average, its connotation is one of disappointment. No one wants their work to be described as mid.
Let's look at a bad example versus a good example. Let's say your friend shows you a painting they worked on for weeks. They are so proud of it. They ask you what you think. If you say, it's mid, that would be pretty hurtful. It's too blunt, too dismissive for something so personal.
A better approach, if you genuinely thought it was just okay, would be to find something specific and positive to say. But if you're talking about a multi-million-dollar Hollywood movie or a famous restaurant, being that blunt is more acceptable. The context and the relationship you have with the person you're speaking to are crucial.
Mini challenge time. You try a new coffee shop. The coffee is not terrible, but it tastes exactly like the coffee you make at home. Nothing special. How would you describe it to a friend in one word? You got it. It's mid. Okay, another checkpoint passed. You're doing great. Let's keep this rhythm going. Next up, we have two words that are often used together as opposites, W and L.
These are letters, not words, but they function as words in internet slang. They are super simple. W stands for win and L stands for loss. They are used to quickly express approval or disapproval, success or failure. It's like a quick judgment or a verdict. If someone does something cool, impressive, or positive, people will comment W. It's a way of saying that's a win or great job. For example, a celebrity donates $1 million to charity. You'll see the comments flooded with W celebrity or just W.
Conversely, if someone does something embarrassing, foolish, or negative, people will comment L. It stands for loss or take the L, which means to accept your failure or defeat. A politician says something really silly in an interview. The comments might be big L for him.
Pronunciation is as easy as it gets. You just say the letter names. W, double U, and L, L. W and L. Let's try it. Say W. Now say L. Easy.
These terms are almost exclusively used online or in very casual, youth-oriented conversations. You'll see them all over platforms like TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch. Someone might post a picture of a great grade they got on a test, and their friends will comment W. Someone else might post about how they tripped and fell in front of everyone, and they might even post it with the caption, "Took a massive L today." It can be used in a self-deprecating way, which means making fun of yourself.
A great example is in the context of opinions. People will say that's a W take or that's an L take. A take is another slang word for an opinion or perspective. So if you say something that people agree with, something smart or insightful, they'll call it a W take. If you say something people think is foolish or wrong, it's an L take.
This is another one where you have to be careful. It's very informal. It reduces complex situations to a simple binary of win or lose, which isn't always helpful. You wouldn't write in a business report, "Our competitor's strategy was a big L." You would say it was ineffective or unsuccessful.
Let's do a quick fire challenge. I'll say an action. You decide if it's a W or an L. Helping an elderly person with their groceries.
That's a definite W.
Forgetting your best friend's birthday.
Ooh, that's an L. A big L.
Finally acing a test you studied really hard for.
A huge W. You earned it. See, you're getting the hang of this. It's a very simple, very direct way to pass judgment online. It's like giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
All right, we've covered sus, mid, and WL. You're building a solid foundation for this marathon. We have one more crucial phrase for this warm-up lap. It's about truth and honesty. The phrase is no cap.
No cap. You will hear this everywhere. It means no lie, for real, or seriously. When someone says no cap at the end of a sentence, they are emphasizing that what they just said is the absolute truth. They are not exaggerating.
Imagine your friend is telling you a crazy story. Dude, I was walking down the street and I saw a famous actor and he stopped to ask me for directions. No cap. The no cap at the end is like a stamp of authenticity. It's them saying, I know this sounds unbelievable, but I swear it's true.
The origin of this phrase is interesting. In this context, cap is another slang word for a lie or an exaggeration. So capping is lying. If you say someone is capping, you're accusing them of not telling the truth. Therefore, no cap means no lie.
The pronunciation is straightforward. No cap.
It's often used to add emphasis to something surprising or impressive. This is the best burger I've ever had. No cap. Or, I'm so tired I could sleep for a week. No cap.
A synonym that is often used in the exact same way is on God. This phrase has a more serious tone. When someone says on God, they are swearing on a higher power that they are telling the truth. It's a very strong statement of sincerity. I will be there for you, on God.
So you have no cap for everyday emphasis and on God for when you want to be extremely serious and sincere. Both are used to underline the truthfulness of what you're saying. This class is so difficult. No cap. That's a casual complaint. I promise I didn't tell your secret. On God. That's a serious promise.
Let's think about where you wouldn't use this. Just like our other words, this is not for formal emails or academic papers. When you want to express truthfulness in a formal context, you would use words like genuinely, sincerely, or truly. You wouldn't write to a potential employer, I am very interested in this position. No cap.
Please don't do that. Instead, you'd say, I am genuinely very interested in this position. It conveys the same sincerity, but with the appropriate level of formality.
Let's do a final mini challenge for level 1. Your friend doesn't believe that you ran 10 kilometers this morning. You want to insist that it's true. What could you say at the end of this sentence? I really ran 10 kilometers.
You could say no cap. Or if you wanted to be even more serious about it, you could say on God.
Excellent. You've finished the first level of our marathon. You've learned sus, mid, WL, and no cap. These words are like your running shoes and your comfortable clothes. They're the essentials you need to even get started in the world of modern slang. Take a deep breath. You're doing an amazing job. Don't stop now, though. The next part of the race is where things get really interesting. We're about to enter the crowded, fast-paced, and sometimes confusing world of the internet. It has a language all its own. Ready to level up? Okay, we're picking up the pace. We're moving from the open road of general slang into the bustling, chaotic city of internet culture. The language here is born on social media, in forums, and in fan communities. It evolves at lightning speed. One day a word is everywhere, and the next it's gone. But the words we're about to cover have real staying power. They describe behaviors and concepts that are fundamental to how we communicate online.
And our first one is a perfect example of this. It's a word that came from music and grew to describe a whole type of person. The word is stan.
What is a stan? A stan is an extremely obsessive and devoted fan of a celebrity, a musical artist, a TV show, or anything really. This isn't just someone who likes an artist's music. This is someone who knows everything about them, defends them passionately online, and is part of a larger fan community. The word has a bit of a dark origin. It comes from a famous song by the rapper Eminem called Stan, about a dangerously obsessed fan named Stan.
That's right. So originally, the word had a very negative meaning, suggesting a level of fandom that was unhealthy or scary. But over time, the internet has reclaimed it. Now people often use it proudly and playfully. You might hear someone say, "I'm a huge Taylor Swift stan," or "I stan that actress. She's amazing in everything."
Notice what David just did there. He used stan as both a noun and a verb. You can be a stan, a person, and you can stan something, an action. As a verb, to stan something means to strongly support or approve of it. We stan a queen who supports her fans. This means we strongly approve of a celebrity who is good to her fans.
Let's nail the pronunciation. It's a simple one-syllable word. Stan. S-t-a-n. Stan. It rhymes with fan or plan, which is very fitting. Let's say it. Stan.
One more time. Stand. Perfect. So, if you hear someone say, "I'm part of the Bayhive, I'm a Beyoncé stan," they're telling you they are a deeply dedicated fan. It implies a level of commitment beyond just casual enjoyment.
The opposite of being a stan might be being a hater or a critic. While a stan will defend their favorite artist no matter what, a hater will criticize them no matter what. It represents the extreme poles of online opinion.
It's important to understand the intensity of this word. If you just like a movie, you wouldn't say you stan it. You would say that if you think it's a masterpiece, you've watched it 10 times, and you're ready to argue with anyone who says it's not the best movie ever made. It implies passion.
So a mini challenge for you. Your friend has just started a new business, and you think it's a fantastic idea. You want to show your enthusiastic support. What could you say using the verb form?
You could say, "I totally stand this new business idea." It shows you're not just a passive supporter, you're an active, enthusiastic fan of what they're doing.
Okay, checkpoint passed. Now, when stans and haters get into arguments online, they often demand something very specific. This brings us to our next word, receipts.
Now, you know the normal meaning of receipts. It's the piece of paper you get after you buy something. But in internet slang, receipts means evidence, proof, or documentation, especially in the form of screenshots. If someone is involved in online drama or makes a controversial claim, other people will say, "Show us the receipts."
Adopting a dramatic tone, imagine this online drama. Celebrity A accuses Celebrity B of saying something mean to them in a private message. Celebrity B denies it. The internet explodes. Everyone is taking sides. Then a third person comes forward and says, "I have the receipts." And they post a screenshot of the private message. That screenshot is the receipt. It's the undeniable proof.
That's a perfect scenario. Receipts are the hard evidence that can end an argument. The phrase "keeping receipts" means saving screenshots or records of conversations in case you need them as proof later. It's a defensive move in the world of online communication.
Pronunciation-wise, this is a tricky one for many learners because of a silent letter. The P is silent. You don't say receipts, you say receipts.
Say it with us, focusing on dropping that P sound. Receipts.
Excellent. So if your friend is telling you about a ridiculous argument they had over text, they might say, "And he claimed he never said that, but I have the receipts." And then they'll show you the screenshots. Synonyms could be proof, evidence, or documentation. But receipts has that specific digital age flavor of screenshots of drama.
A bad example of using this would be in a formal or legal context. While a screenshot can be a form of evidence, you wouldn't tell a judge, Your Honor, I have the receipts on the defendant. You would refer to it as Exhibit A or digital evidence. Receipts is strictly for informal, social contexts, usually involving gossip or drama.
Many challenge. Your brother claims he cleaned his room, but you don't believe him. You walk into his room and take a picture of the huge mess. What have you just gathered?
You've got the receipts. You have the proof that he was capping. See how these words start to connect?
They really do. This next word is connected to all of this. It's the reason people get into drama, the reason people want to be famous online. The word is clout.
Clout means influence, social power, or fame, especially in the context of social media. Someone with a lot of clout is a person whose opinions are respected, whose posts get a lot of attention, and who can influence trends. It's a form of modern social currency.
A YouTuber with 10 million subscribers has a lot of clout. A TikToker who can make a song go viral just by using it in a video has clout. It's that invisible power to command attention in the digital world. You might hear someone say, she has so much clout in the fashion industry, any brand she wears sells out instantly.
And this brings us to a related term, clout chasing. This is a negative term. Clout chasing is the act of trying to become more famous by associating with famous people or by saying or doing controversial things just to get attention. For example, if a small creator starts a fake argument or beef with a much bigger creator just to get their name in the headlines, people would accuse them of clout chasing. They don't genuinely have a problem, they are just using the drama to gain clout for themselves. It's seen as inauthentic and desperate.
Let's get the pronunciation for clout. It's one syllable and the OU sounds like ow. Clout. C-L-O-U-T. It rhymes with shout or about. Say it with us. Clout.
And for the other term, clout chasing. Clout chasing. Let's say that one too. Clout chasing.
Synonyms for clout could be influence, prestige, or reputation. But clout specifically refers to this very modern, social media-driven form of influence. You might say a respected scientist has prestige in their field, but you would say a popular influencer has clout.
It's really a key concept for understanding the motivation behind a lot of online behavior. Why do people do ridiculous challenges? To get clout. Why do they start drama? Sometimes for clout. It's a powerful force.
So challenge time. A person starts leaving negative comments on every single post by a huge celebrity, hoping the celebrity will respond to them and make them famous. What is this person doing?
They're clout chasing. They're trying to use the celebrity's fame to get some attention for themselves.
Exactly. Now, when someone's clout chasing goes wrong, or when a person with clout makes a huge mistake, something else can happen to them. This brings us to a very powerful and controversial word. Cancel, as in to be canceled.
To cancel someone or for someone to be canceled means for them to be socially rejected or boycotted by the public, usually on social media. This typically happens after they've said or done something considered offensive or problematic. The public collectively decides to withdraw their support. They stop buying their products, watching their movies, or following them online. It's a form of modern public shaming. For example, if an old offensive tweet from a famous person resurfaces, there might be a public outcry. People might start a hashtag. The idea is that their career or public platform should be taken away because of their actions.
It's a really complex topic. Some people see cancel culture as a way to hold powerful people accountable for their actions. Others see it as a dangerous online mob that doesn't allow for mistakes or personal growth. But regardless of your opinion on it, the term is everywhere. Did you hear that YouTuber got canceled after his apology video was seen as insincere?
The pronunciation is the same as the normal word, cancel. The past tense form, which is very common here, is canceled. Canceled. Let's practice that one. Canceled.
So when you hear that someone is canceled, it means they have lost public favor in a major way. Some synonyms in a more formal context might be ostracized, blacklisted, or publicly condemned. But canceled is a specific internet age term for this phenomenon.
It's important to note the nuance. Sometimes people use it jokingly for minor things. You put pineapple on pizza, you're canceled. In this case, it's a hyperbolic or exaggerated way to disagree with someone's opinion. But when used seriously, it refers to a major public backlash.
Challenge time. A company is exposed for having terrible environmental practices. People online start a campaign to stop buying their products. What are they trying to do to the company?
They are trying to cancel the company. They are withdrawing their support as a form of protest.
You're navigating this digital world perfectly. Let's keep moving. From the social world of canceling, we move to the mechanics of social media platforms themselves. Our next word is a verb that comes from Twitter, now known as X. The word is to be ratioed.
To be ratioed is a very specific form of online failure. It happens when a post, like a tweet, receives significantly more replies or comments than it does likes or retweets. This is almost always a bad sign. It means that people are not just passively disagreeing with you, they are actively and passionately arguing against you in the replies.
Think of it like this. Likes and retweets are forms of approval. People are saying, I agree with this, or this is good. Replies, on the other hand, can be for many reasons, but when they vastly outnumber the likes, it's usually because people are angry, they are making fun of the original post, or they are dunking on the person who posted it. The ratio of replies to likes is bad. For example, someone posts a really bad opinion, a really L take, as we learned earlier. Let's say the tweet gets 100 likes, but it has 2,000 replies. That person has been ratioed. It's a public signal that their opinion is extremely unpopular. You might see someone comment under the post, the ratio was brutal, or simply, you're getting ratioed.
Let's check the pronunciation. Ratioed. Ratioed. It has 3 syllables. Ray-she-ode. Let's say it slowly. Ray-she-ode.
A little faster now. Ratioed. Perfect. This is a term that really only makes sense in the context of platforms like Twitter/X, where you can see the numbers for likes, replies, and retweets all together. It's a very specific piece of internet native vocabulary. There isn't really a perfect one-word synonym in standard English. You'd have to describe the situation. His post received a huge number of negative comments. So, the mini challenge. You post a photo of your lunch, and it gets 500 likes and only 3 comments, all of them positive. Have you been ratioed?
No, absolutely not. That's a great ratio. That's a social media win or a W.
You're getting this. All of these terms describe the social dynamics of the internet. Our next one is about a certain kind of attitude or personality that is highly valued by some online communities. The word is based.
This one can be a little confusing, so let's break it down. If someone is based, it means they are authentic, unapologetic, and confident in their own opinions, even if those opinions are unconventional or unpopular. A based person doesn't care what other people think. They speak their truth without fear. It is considered the opposite of being cringe or trying too hard to please everyone.
Imagine a politician who gives very honest, direct answers instead of carefully prepared, safe statements. Some people might call them based. Or an artist who creates weird, experimental music that they love without worrying about whether it will be popular. That is a based attitude. It's about being true to yourself, even if it makes you unpopular.
The word originally came from the rapper Lil B, who used it to mean being positive and being yourself. Over time, its meaning has shifted and become a bit more political, often used in niche online communities. But at its core, it's about a kind of courageous authenticity. You might see a comment under a controversial opinion piece that says, based and true. This is a strong statement of agreement and respect for the author's bravery in stating their opinion.
The pronunciation is simple. It's just one syllable. Based.
So, while a synonym might be principled, authentic or uncompromising, the word based carries a very specific online culture weight. It's a badge of honor for not conforming to mainstream expectations.
Let's contrast it. A person who changes their opinion constantly depending on who they're talking to just to be liked is the opposite of based. They're not being authentic to themselves. Someone who posts a very controversial but well-reasoned argument, knowing they might get ratioed for it, could be described as based. They are standing by their convictions.
Let's keep this energy up. Speaking of energy, our next phrase is literally about that. It's main character energy.
This is the fun one. Main character energy is a phrase used to describe someone who is acting, living, or feeling like they are the protagonist, the main character in their own life story. They are confident, they are the center of their own universe, and they are not just a background character in someone else's life.
Think about the main character in a movie. The camera follows them. Their decisions drive the plot. They are the star of the show. So when a person has main character energy, they are behaving with that same level of self-importance and confidence. This can be a positive or a negative thing, depending on the context.
On the positive side, it can mean being empowered, romanticizing your own life, and being the hero of your own journey. For example, you're walking through the city on a beautiful day, listening to your favorite music, feeling amazing. You might think to yourself, I've got so much main character energy right now. It's a feeling of being alive and in control of your destiny.
On the negative side, it can describe someone who is self-centered and acts as if the world revolves around them. If someone is talking loudly on their phone in a quiet library, making a scene, and completely ignoring how they are affecting others, someone might whisper, "Wow, look at them, such main character energy." In this case, it's a criticism of their selfishness.
Pronunciation is just saying the words clearly. Main character energy. Main character energy. Let's just say it together at a natural pace. Main character energy.
So there isn't a perfect single word synonym. You could say someone is confident and charismatic, positive, or narcissistic and self-absorbed, negative. Main character energy captures both possibilities, and it's all about that cinematic, story-like feeling.
Mini challenge? Your friend just quit a job they hated to follow their dream of becoming a musician. They're scared, but also excited and determined. What kind of energy are they embodying?
That is peak main character energy. They're taking control of their story and pursuing their own plotline.
Fantastic. We're nearing the end of this level. We have just a few more essential internet slang terms. The next one is about social media accounts. It's Finsta.
A Finsta is a fake Instagram account, but fake here doesn't mean it's not a real person. It means it's a second, more private Instagram account that a person uses to share content with a smaller group of close friends, as opposed to their main, public-facing account, their Rinsta, or real Instagram.
On their Rinsta, a person might post beautiful, carefully edited photos for hundreds or thousands of followers. On their Finsta, they might post silly pictures, unfiltered thoughts, and personal stories for just their 20 closest friends. It's a more authentic, less performed version of themselves online.
It's a response to the pressure of maintaining a perfect image on social media. The Finsta is a private space for being messy, vulnerable, and real. Someone might say, "I can't post this on my main. I'll put it on my Finsta."
The pronunciation is simple, Finsta.
The concept of a Finsta highlights the difference between our public persona and our private self, and how we manage that online. It's a fascinating part of modern digital identity.
So, a quick question for you. A celebrity has an official, verified Instagram account with millions of followers. They also have a secret account with a funny name that only their family and best friends follow. What is that second account called?
That's their Finsta.
Exactly. All right, next word. This one is all about action and expression. The word is yeet.
Yeet is a wonderfully flexible word. It has two main uses. First, as a verb, it means to throw something with great force and a lack of concern. If you're throwing an empty soda can into a trash can from across the room, you might yell yeet as you throw it. It's the action of a powerful, energetic throw.
The image is perfect. It's not a gentle toss, it's a forceful hurl. The key is the attitude. You're not carefully placing it, you're yeeting it. I'm so frustrated with this report, I just want to yeet my computer out the window.
The second use of yeet is as an exclamation of excitement, approval, or success. It's just a sound you make to express joy. You just found out you got the job you wanted? Yeet! You just beat a difficult level in a video game. Yeet!
The pronunciation is just one syllable, and it has a long E sound. Yeet.
The next one is a very, very popular word right now. It describes a certain kind of charm. The word is riz. Riz is a slang term for charisma, particularly romantic charisma. It's a person's skill in charming or attracting a potential romantic partner. It's like having game or being a smooth talker. If someone is very good at flirting and making people attracted to them, you would say they have a lot of riz.
It's believed to be a shortened form of the word charisma, taking that middle syllable. Like the word stan, it can be used as a noun or a verb. You can have riz, or you can riz someone up, which means to successfully charm or flirt with them. Did you see how he just walked up to her and got her number? He's got unspoken riz. Or, I'm going to try to riz up that cute guy at the coffee shop.
The pronunciation is one quick syllable. Riz. R-I-Z. It rhymes with is or fizz. Let's say it. Riz.
This word really captures a very specific 21st century idea of charm. It's not about old-fashioned poetic language. It's about a kind of effortless, confident charm that works in modern social situations. Some people are said to have unspoken riz, meaning they can be charming without even saying much, just through their body language and confidence.
Challenge time. A character in a movie is very shy and awkward. They try to talk to someone they like, but they get nervous and say all the wrong things. What would you say this character lacks?
They have no riz. Zero riz.
Exactly. Okay, we've made it to the final checkpoint of level 2. Our last term for this section is a very simple but very useful phrase from the world of food, but now it's used for everything. The phrase is bussin'.
If something is bussin', it means it is extremely good, delicious, or amazing. It started as a way to describe really good food. You take a bite of the most incredible pizza you've ever had, you could say, wow, this pizza is bussin'.
The G at the end of bussing is dropped, which is very common in informal speech. We'll talk more about that in our pronunciation section later. For now, just know that it's pronounced bussin', B-U-S-I-N. The stress is on the first syllable, bussin'. Let's say it, bussin'. So, for your final challenge of level 2, you go to a concert and the band plays your favorite song perfectly. The energy is incredible. The sound is amazing. How would you describe the performance to your friend the next day?
You'd say, the concert was absolutely bussin'.
Yes, you've done it. You have completed the digital dash. You've learned stan, receipts, clout, cancel, ratioed, based, main character energy, finsta, yeet, riz, and bussin'. These are not just words. They are concepts that define how people interact and see the world online. Take a moment, get a virtual drink of water. This part of the marathon was fast and intense. You might feel a little out of breath, and that's okay. You're learning a new culture, a new way of speaking. Next up, we're going to move into a different kind of challenge. We're going to explore the creative, figurative language of the streets, the world of modern idioms. This is where the language gets really colorful.
All right, marathon runners, you've passed the warm-up, you've dashed through the digital city, and now you're entering one of the most creative and nuanced parts of the race, the idiom mile. Idioms are phrases where the meaning isn't obvious from the individual words. It's raining cats and dogs has nothing to do with actual animals. Street idioms are the same. They are poetic, visual, and they carry a ton of cultural meaning.
Mastering these will make your English sound incredibly fluent and natural. It shows you don't just understand the words, you understand the culture behind them. Our first idiom is a classic of indirect communication. It is to throw shade.
To throw shade at someone means to insult them or express contempt for them in a subtle, indirect, or nonverbal way. It's not a direct insult. It's not walking up to someone and saying, "Your shirt is ugly." It's much more clever than that.
Imagine two rival singers are at an awards show. A reporter asks singer A, "What do you think of singer B's new album?" Singer A smiles sweetly and says, "Oh, I'm so glad she's still trying to make music. It's so brave of her." Ouch. That is throwing shade. On the surface, it sounds like a compliment, but the real meaning is insulting. She's implying that singer B is failing and that her music isn't good.
It can also be done with just a look, a dirty look or a dismissive eye roll. That's also throwing shade. The shade is the insult, and you are throwing it at someone. You might hear friends gossiping. "Did you see the way she looked at him when he walked in? She was throwing so much shade." The pronunciation is clear. Throw shade. The key to understanding this idiom is the indirectness. A synonym might be to insult subtly, or to make a backhanded compliment. A backhanded compliment is a comment that sounds like praise but is actually an insult. "Your new haircut makes your face look so much slimmer," is a classic example. It implies your face looked fat before. That's a form of throwing shade.
Let's do a challenge. Your coworker, who is often lazy, actually finishes a project on time. You say to them, "Wow, I'm shocked you actually did some work for once." Is that throwing shade?
No, that's just a direct insult. It's too obvious. To throw shade, you would have to be more subtle. You might say, "Oh, congratulations on finishing the project. It's always nice when everyone on the team contributes." The implication is that they usually don't contribute. See the difference? One is a direct punch, the other is a sneaky jab.
That's a perfect distinction. Okay, next idiom. This one is about feelings and experiences. The phrase is hit different.
If something hits different, it means it affects you in a special, unique, or more profound way than usual. It's a feeling that is hard to explain, but it's powerful. It resonates with you on a deeper level.
You've probably had pizza 100 times in your life, but imagine you're on vacation in Italy, sitting in a small, beautiful restaurant, and you eat a piece of pizza that is just perfect. The ingredients are fresh, the atmosphere is amazing. In that moment, you could say, "This pizza just hits different." It's more than just good food, it's a whole experience.
It's often used for music too. You can listen to a sad song any day, but listening to that same sad song right after a breakup, it hits different. The lyrics suddenly feel like they were written just for you. The emotion is much more intense. I've always liked this song, but listening to it on a late night drive just hits different.
This is a fantastic phrase because it expresses a very specific, subjective feeling. There's no single word that means the same thing. You could say it feels special or it has a unique impact, but hits different is so much more evocative and modern.
Time for a challenge. You enjoy drinking coffee every morning, but drinking your first cup of coffee on a Monday morning after a long weekend, how might that feel?
It just hits different. That first sip of caffeine on a Monday morning is on another level.
Exactly. It's the context that makes the feeling special. All right, let's move from a good feeling to a very bad one. Our next idiom is a dismissive command. Kick rocks.
Some synonyms would be get lost, buzz off, or the more vulgar, hiss off. Kick rocks is in that same family of angry dismissals. It's a phrase you should be very careful about using as it's intentionally disrespectful.
Let's look at the context. A good use might be in a movie script where a tough character is telling someone to leave. A bad use would be saying it to your boss when they ask you to do something. Again, this is a phrase that signals conflict and anger.
Your challenge. Your friend is teasing you and you're not in the mood for it. You want them to stop and leave you alone for a bit. What is a harsh slang phrase you could use?
You could tell them to kick rocks. They would definitely get the message that you are not playing around.
They would indeed. Now, the person who made you angry enough to tell them to kick rocks might have been acting in a very specific way. This brings us to our next idiom, to move mad.
To move mad means to act in a crazy, unreasonable, or unpredictable way. The mad here doesn't mean angry, although it can be part of it. It mostly means insane or out of control. When someone is moving mad, their behavior is shocking and doesn't make any sense.
For example, your friend suddenly quits their job, breaks up with their partner, and books a one-way ticket to another country, all in the same day. You'd call them and say, "What is going on? You're moving mad." Their actions are extreme and irrational.
It can also be used to describe someone being outrageously bold or disrespectful. Imagine someone trying to bargain for a lower price on an item that is already on sale for 90% off. The store clerk might think to themselves, this customer is moving mad. Their request is completely unreasonable.
Notice how both words are short and sharp. Let's say it. Move mad.
The phrase is great for expressing disbelief at someone's behavior. Synonyms might be acting crazy or behaving erratically, but move mad has a specific street talk flavor that makes it sound more current and impactful.
Challenge time. You see someone on the street start yelling at a statue. They are having a full-blown argument with an inanimate object. How would you describe their behavior?
They're definitely moving mad. Their actions are completely irrational.
Perfect. Now, let's shift from crazy actions to internal feelings, specifically romantic ones. Our next idiom is to catch feelings.
To catch feelings for someone means to unexpectedly develop romantic or emotional feelings for them, especially in a situation where you didn't intend to. It's like catching a cold. It's something that happens to you, often against your will.
This phrase is very common when people are in a casual relationship or a friends with benefits situation. The rule is often no strings attached, which means no emotional commitment. But then one person starts to actually like the other person in a romantic way. They have caught feelings.
It implies a loss of control. You weren't planning on it, but it happened anyway. Someone might confess to their friend, we were just supposed to be having fun, but I think I'm starting to catch feelings. It's often said with a sense of worry or complication. Things just got more difficult.
Mini challenge for you. Two people have been study partners for a year. They see each other only as friends. Then one day, one of them realizes they are always thinking about the other person and gets jealous when they talk to other people. What is happening to them?
They are catching feelings.
Precisely. Okay, from the internal world of feelings to the external world of a great party. We have a pair of phrases that mean the same thing, off the chain or off the hook.
Both of these idioms mean that something is extremely fun, exciting, cool, or out of control in a good way. It suggests that the energy is so high that it's broken free from any normal constraints. It's no longer on the chain or on the hook.
You go to a party and the music is incredible. Everyone is dancing and the atmosphere is electric. The next day, you tell your friend that party was off the chain or it was totally off the hook. Both mean the same thing. It was amazing.
These phrases are a bit older than some of the other slang we've covered, but they are still widely used and understood, especially off the chain. They can be used to describe events, performances, or even objects. Did you see his new car? It's off the chain. This means it's incredibly cool. Synonyms would be wild, amazing, incredible, or lit. But off the chain and off the hook have a specific high-energy, slightly rebellious feel to them.
Challenge. A DJ plays a set at a music festival that is so energetic and creative that the entire crowd goes wild. How would you describe the DJ's performance?
It was off the chain or off the hook. Either one works perfectly.
You got it. Now, from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, our next phrase is down bad.
If someone is down bad, they are in a state of extreme desperation, usually either romantically or financially. It means you are in a very low place.
Romantically, being down bad means you are extremely and often embarrassingly desperate for someone's affection. This is usually after a breakup or when you have a huge crush on someone who doesn't notice you. You might be constantly checking their social media, listening to sad songs, and generally being miserable over them. Your friends might tell you, you need to stop thinking about her. You are down bad.
Financially, being down bad just means you are broke. You have no money. I can't come out this weekend. I'm down bad until I get paid. In both cases, it signifies a low point, a state of desperation.
The tone when you say this is usually one of sympathy or sometimes criticism. He's so down bad for her. Let's say it. Down bad.
This is a very descriptive phrase. It paints a vivid picture of someone's miserable state. A more formal way to say it would be struggling emotionally or in a desperate situation. But down bad is much more direct and impactful in a casual context.
Mini challenge. Your friend just lost a job and their relationship ended in the same week. They are feeling completely hopeless. What phrase could describe their situation?
They are down bad. Very, very down bad.
Yes, it's a tough spot to be in. Our next word describes a state of being completely finished, but in a few different ways. The word is cooked.
If you are cooked, it can mean a few things. First, it can mean you are completely exhausted, physically or mentally drained. After running a marathon for real, you would be cooked. After studying for 3 days straight for an exam, your brain is cooked.
Second, it can mean you are in a lot of trouble or that you are finished, ruined, or defeated. Imagine you are playing a video game and your opponent has you trapped. There's no escape. You could say, yeah, I'm cooked. It means I've lost. Or if you forgot to do a major assignment for school and it's due in 5 minutes, you might think to yourself, I'm so cooked. You're in a hopeless situation.
Pronunciation: cooked. Cooked. It's a short, final-sounding word which fits its meaning of being done or finished. Let's say it. Cooked. This is a great, versatile slang term. Synonyms could be exhausted, doomed, finished, or ruined. But cooked wraps all that feeling of finality into one simple word.
Challenge. You stayed up all night playing video games. Your alarm goes off for work at 6 a.m. You've only had 1 hour of sleep. How are you feeling?
You are absolutely cooked. I think we've all been there. All right, from being exhausted to being brilliant. Let's talk about a phrase from the world of hip-hop, to spit bars.
To spit bars means to rap, but specifically to rap in a very skillful and impressive way. In rap music, a bar is a line of lyrics. So someone who can spit bars is a talented lyricist and rapper. They have a great flow, clever wordplay, and a good delivery. You would use this phrase to give a compliment. You're listening to a rapper and they delivered a really complex and brilliant verse. You might turn to your friend and say, wow, she can really spit bars. It's a sign of respect for their technical skill.
The phrase can also be used more broadly and sometimes jokingly to mean speaking in a very articulate or impressive way, even if you're not rapping. If your friend makes a really clever, witty, or poetic point in an argument, you could joke, "Okay, Shakespeare, calm down. Stop spitting bars over there." This is a great example of slang coming directly from a specific subculture, in this case hip hop, and then spreading into the wider vocabulary.
Okay, our very last idiom for this level. It's a beautiful and motivating one. The phrase is to glow up.
A glow up is a major and impressive transformation for the better, usually in terms of appearance, confidence, success, or all of the above. It's often used to describe someone who went through an awkward phase, like in their early teens, and then grew into a confident, attractive, and successful adult. The caption would be something like, "Talk about a glow up."
It's not just about physical appearance, though. It's about the whole package. A glow up can also be about your career, your mental health, and your overall happiness.
If someone was struggling in a dead-end job and is now running their own successful business and seems truly happy, they've had a major glow up. It's a journey of positive transformation.
The pronunciation, glow up, glow up. It has a nice positive sound to it, doesn't it? Let's say it, glow up.
This is a wonderfully positive piece of slang. A more formal term would be a positive transformation or significant self-improvement. But glow up captures that radiant, shining quality of someone who has truly come into their own.
Final challenge of the idiom mile. A friend of yours used to be very shy and insecure. Over the last year, they started working out, got a new job they love, and have become incredibly confident and outgoing. What has happened to them?
They've had an amazing glow up.
Yes! And that is the end of level 3. You made it through the idiom mile. We've covered throw shade, hit different, kick rocks, move mad, catch feelings, off the chain, down bad, cooked, spit bars, and glow up. These phrases add so much color and personality to your speech.
You're over halfway through the marathon now. This is often the hardest part of the race. You're tired, but the finish line is still far away. This is where you have to dig deep. Our next level is going to be technical. We're going to look under the hood at the grammar and pronunciation that makes street talk sound the way it does. This is advanced stuff, but you're ready for it. Let's go.
Welcome to the toughest, but maybe the most rewarding part of our marathon, the technical terrain. This isn't about learning new words so much as it is about understanding the system behind the words. Why does street talk sometimes sound like it's breaking grammar rules? How do native speakers say these phrases so quickly? And how do you switch between this casual language and the formal English you need for school or work?
This is the level that will truly elevate your understanding from just a learner to someone who really gets the language on a deep, intuitive level. We're going to start with some common grammar bending structures. Now, I want to be clear. When we say grammar bending, we don't mean it's bad or incorrect grammar. These are features of specific dialects like African American Vernacular English, AAVE, that have their own consistent rules and have hugely influenced modern slang. Calling them wrong is a mistake. They are simply different from textbook standard English.
Exactly. Understanding them is about respect for linguistic diversity, not about correcting errors. Our first feature is the incredibly versatile word ain't.
Ain't. You've heard it. It's often used in place of am not, is not, are not, have not, or do not. It's an all-purpose negative word. For example, instead of she isn't here, you'll hear she ain't here. Instead of I don't have any money, you might hear I ain't got no money.
Let's look at a few examples to see its range. I ain't see him. This means I didn't see him. Here, ain't replaces didn't. He ain't coming. This means he isn't coming. Here, ain't replaces isn't. They ain't wrong. This means they are not wrong. Here, ain't replaces aren't. This ain't what I wanted. This means this is not what I wanted.
The pronunciation is one syllable, ain't. It rhymes with paint or saint. Let's say it, ain't. Using ain't immediately makes your speech sound more informal, more relaxed, and more rooted in certain dialects of English. It's a word with a long and complex history. For a long time, it was stigmatized and still is by some as uneducated. But in many communities, it's a completely normal and standard part of everyday speech.
The key for you as a learner is to be able to recognize it and understand it. Using it yourself depends on how comfortable you are and who you're talking to. If you're trying to sound very casual with American friends, it might be appropriate. But you would never, ever write ain't in a formal essay. That's where the code switching we talked about comes in. You understand she ain't here, but you write she is not here.
Our next grammar feature is called zero copula. That's a very academic sounding name, but the idea is simple. A copula is a linking verb, most commonly the verb to be. Is, am, are. Zero copula just means dropping that verb.
It happens all the time in fast and formal speech. Instead of asking, are you okay? Someone might just ask, you good? The R is dropped. Instead of saying, he is really quiet, you might hear, he real quiet. The is gone.
Here are a few more examples. Standard, she is at home. Zero copula, she at home. Standard, they are crazy. Zero copula, they crazy.
This makes the language faster, more direct, and more rhythmic. It cuts out the small connecting words. It's not random. There are rules about when you can and can't drop the be verb. For you as a learner, the main thing is to train your ear to hear it. You might be listening for is or are, and when it's not there, you might get confused. Knowing that it's often dropped will help you understand so much more.
And it connects to our next point, double negatives. In your English class, your teacher probably told you that two negatives make a positive, and that you should never say something like, I don't have no money. In standard English, that's true, but in many dialects and in a lot of informal street talk, double negatives are used for emphasis. They don't cancel each other out, they make the negative stronger.
So when someone says, I ain't got no clue, they don't mean they do have a clue. They mean they really don't have a clue. The two negatives, ain't and no, reinforce each other. It's for emphasis. Here are some other examples.
He don't know nothing. This means he doesn't know anything at all. I can't get no satisfaction, a famous line from a Rolling Stone song. This means I can't get any satisfaction at all. She ain't going nowhere. This means she is definitely not going anywhere.
This is probably the trickiest one for learners because it directly contradicts a rule you've been taught over and over again. But language is alive and it's more complex than the rules in a book. When you hear a double negative in a song or a movie, remember, it's not a mistake. It's a feature of a dialect and it's being used for emphasis.
And our last grammar point is a really creative one, noun to verb transformations. This is happening all the time in slang. People take a word that is normally a noun, a person, place, or thing, and they turn it into a verb, an action.
We saw this earlier with stan. A stan is a noun, a person, but you can stand something, an action. We also saw it with riz. Riz is a noun, a quality, but you can riz someone up, an action. The internet does this constantly. Think of the word ghost. A ghost is a noun, but now to ghost someone is a very common verb meaning to suddenly stop all communication with them without explanation. I thought we had a great date, but then he totally ghosted me.
Another great example is the at symbol. That's a noun, a symbol. But online, it's used as a verb. If someone says, don't at me, they mean don't reply to me, don't mention me in your post, or don't argue with me about this. They are turning the symbol into an action. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but pineapple belongs on pizza. Don't at me.
This process is called verbing or denominalization, but you don't need to remember those fancy terms. Just notice it when it happens. It's a sign of a living, breathing language that is adapting to new technologies and new ideas.
Okay, that was a lot of grammar theory. Let's switch gears and get practical. Let's talk about pronunciation. If you want to understand fast, natural speech, you need to understand reductions. Native speakers don't pronounce every single sound in every single word. They blend, drop, and change sounds to speak more efficiently. Street talk and slang often use extreme versions of these reductions.
Let's start with a common one. Did you? In a textbook, you say, did you? In fast speech, it becomes ju. And in very fast and formal speech, it often becomes Joe. The D and Y sounds combine to make a J sound. Did you eat yet becomes J eat yet. Did you see that becomes J see that.
Another one is don't you. This becomes don't ya. Don't you think so? Becomes don't you think so? And got you becomes gotcha. I got you, meaning I understand you or I've got your back, becomes I gotcha.
A huge one is going to. We all learned that this gets reduced to gonna. But in a lot of street talk and informal slang, it gets reduced even further to I'ma or just I'ma. This comes from I'm going to. I'm going to go to the store becomes I'ma go to the store. I'm going to call him later becomes I'ma call him later. This is incredibly common. Listen for I'ma. It means I'm going to.
Now let's talk about dropping sounds. We have something in English called the glottal stop. This is where you close the back of your throat to stop the air, cutting a sound short. It often happens with the T sound in the middle of words, especially in American and British English. The word bottle becomes bo-ol. You don't say the T sound. You say bo, then a little stop, then ol. Bowl. Little becomes lit-ol.
This is huge for understanding. You might be waiting to hear a crisp T sound that never comes. Another one is droppable sounds in common words. Internet very often becomes innet. The T and in the middle get swallowed. And I don't know has a whole evolution. It can become dunno, or in text slang and very fast speech, it can even become you know. It's like I know. You know what you mean.
Finally, let's talk about intonation, the music of the language. Street talk often has its own specific intonation patterns. One is the high rising terminal or uptalk. This is where you end a statement with a rising intonation like it's a question, even when it's not. So, I went to the store and he was there, and he was acting all weird. The speaker isn't asking a question, they are telling the story, but the rising tone is used to check that the listener is following and to add a sense of drama or uncertainty. You also hear it in tag questions like, "That's crazy, right?" The intonation goes up.
The opposite of this is the falling flat tone, which is often used for sarcasm. Sarcasm is when you say the opposite of what you mean and your tone of voice is the clue. If you spill coffee all over your shirt and say, "Wow, amazing," you don't say it with excitement, you say it flat with no emotion. "Wow, amazing." That flat tone signals that you mean the opposite. This is terrible.
Finally, emphasis can also be shown by drawing out vowels. We talked about how bad can sometimes mean good. The intonation is key. If something is actually bad, you say it quickly. That's bad. If it's really good, you draw it out. Oh, that's bad. That long vowel sound changes the meaning completely. Her new car is bad means it's incredibly cool.
And finally, you have clipped short phrases for rejection or agreement. Instead of a long "no thank you," you get a short, sharp "nah." Instead of "yes, that sounds like a good plan," you might just get a clipped bet. Bet is slang for okay, deal, or I'm down for that. It's quick, efficient, and confident.
Phew, that was a deep dive. Grammar and pronunciation are the engine of the language. Understanding these features will help you decode so much of what you hear. But now, for the final part of this level, we need to bring it all together. How do you switch between street talk and professional talk? This is where we look at academic or neutral replacements.
This skill, called code switching, is what makes a truly advanced speaker. It's knowing your audience and your context. Let's take some of the words we've learned and find their more formal partners. First up, deadass. As we learned, it means seriously or truly. Slang, I'm deadass tired. Academic or neutral, I am sincerely tired, or I am genuinely exhausted. You would write genuinely in an email to your professor.
Next, no cap. We learned this means truthfully or no lie. Slang, no cap, this is the best book I've ever read. Academic or neutral, honestly, this is the best book I have read. Or, in very formal writing, truthfully, this is the finest book I have encountered.
How about based? We said it means principled and authentic, not caring what others think. Slang, his decision to stick with his original design, even when it was unpopular, was so based. Academic or neutral, his decision to adhere to his original design, despite its unpopularity, was principled. Or you could say his stance was authentic and uncompromising.
Let's do mid. Mediocre, average. Slang, the movie was pretty mid. Academic or neutral, the film was rather mediocre, or the quality was merely average.
And down bad, that feeling of being desperate. Slang, after the breakup, he was really down bad. Academic or neutral, after the breakup, he was struggling significantly, or he was in a state of emotional desperation.
What about a glow up? That positive transformation? Slang, she had a major glow up after college. Academic or neutral, she underwent a significant positive transformation after college. Or she experienced remarkable personal growth.
Here's a good one. Ops, from opposition, meaning enemies or rivals. Slang, he's always watching out for the ops. Academic or neutral, he is always wary of his rivals, or in a more formal context, his adversaries.
And clout, influence, and reputation. Slang, he's just doing that for clout. Academic or neutral, he is only doing that to gain influence, or he is attempting to bolster his public reputation.
And to cancel someone, to reject or ostracize them. Slang, people tried to cancel him for his comments. Academic or neutral, the public attempted to ostracize him for his comments. Or there was a movement to reject his public platform. Ostracize, that's a great C2 level word. It means to exclude someone from a society or group. Ostracize, ostracize.
And our last one, throw shade, to insult subtly. Slang, she was throwing shade at him the whole night. Academic or neutral, she was insulting him subtly throughout the evening, or she made several veiled criticisms about him. Veiled here means hidden or indirect.
This is the marathon. Knowing you can say that's bussin' to a friend, but you need to write the quality of the product is exceptional in a report. This flexibility is true fluency. It's not about which one is better.
It's about which one is the right tool for the job.
You've made it through the most technical part of the course. Your legs might be aching, your brain might be full, but you are so close to the end. All that's left is the final sprint to the finish line. This is where we bring it all together. Let's do a quick victory lap and review some of the key words we've learned, but with new, real-life examples to lock them in. Remember that feeling of being down bad? I saw a friend recently who was feeling that way about finding a job. He'd applied to 50 places and heard nothing. He was truly struggling. But then, just last week, he got an amazing offer. He had a career glow-up right when he needed it most. It just hits different when success comes after a long struggle.
That's so true. And speaking of work, I was in a meeting the other day, and someone presented an idea that was honestly just mid. It was uninspired. But then this quiet intern in the corner spoke up. She had a completely different idea. It was risky, but brilliant. Everyone was shocked. My boss looked at me and whispered, "Where did she come from?" I just thought to myself, that was a based move. She wasn't afraid to challenge the average idea. That's main character energy right there. She wasn't waiting for permission to be the star.
I love that, and it reminds me of the internet side of things. I saw a politician post a tweet that was so out of touch, so ridiculous, and the comments were brutal. It was like 200 likes and 5,000 replies. He got completely ratioed. People were posting receipts from his old speeches that contradicted what he was saying. The whole thing was just a huge L. It was almost hard to watch. But no cap, it was a masterclass in what not to do online.
It really is a different world. My little brother was telling me a story the other day, and I could barely keep up. He said he and his friends were going to pull up on another friend to surprise him for his birthday, but then his friend was acting sus on the phone, so they thought the surprise was ruined. It turns out the friend was just busy trying to rizz up someone he met. My brother finished the story and I just said, "Man, the language changes so fast." And he just looked at me and said, "Facts, facts."
It does change fast, but that's the beauty of it. It's alive, it's creative, it's human. Learning this language isn't about memorizing a dead set of rules. It's about joining a living, breathing conversation that spans the entire globe. Every word you learn, every phrase you understand is another step into that global community.
And now you have reached the finish line. You have completed the ultimate vocabulary marathon. Take a deep, deep breath. Feel that sense of accomplishment. You didn't just learn a list of words. You learned a system. You learned the culture, the grammar, the sound, and the feeling behind the language. That is an incredible achievement.
But the race is never truly over. Fluency isn't a destination. It's a lifelong journey. So here is your cool down, your final challenge from us, your coaches. Your homework is this. Choose just three. Three new words or phrases you learned today. Maybe it's glow up or hits different or the idea of being based. And your challenge is to use them.
Use them in a sentence. Post it in the comments section below this video so we can see it and so you can learn from others. Or just say it aloud to yourself right now. Tell a story. Describe your day. Every single time you actively use a new word, you are building a stronger connection to it in your brain. You are taking it from passive knowledge to active skill. Every word you use is another step closer to fluency.
We're so incredibly proud of you for running this marathon with us. Thank you for your energy, your focus, and your commitment to your own growth.
What did you think of this episode? Was it helpful? Did any of these words surprise you? Let us know in the comments. We read every single one, and your feedback helps us make English Made Easy even better.
Keep practicing, keep running your race, and remember to listen to our podcast every day, even for just a few minutes. It's the best way to keep the rhythm of the language in your ears and in your mind.
You showed up today, and you did the work. That's all that matters. You're not just learning English, you're becoming a new version of yourself.
If you found even one idea here useful, please give this video a like. It helps more learners just like you discover our channel. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss our next lesson, tip, or practice session. When you support the channel, you're not just helping it grow, you're also helping us create even more free content for learners all around the world. I'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know your biggest challenge in learning English. Your feedback helps me create videos that truly match your needs. Thanks again for being part of English Made Easy. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.